Hello students, welcome to the class. I am N.K. Thukral from Edupedia World. Students, I have discussed various chapters. I have covered almost all the chapters of business studies in my various prior sessions. In the previous session, I have covered project work also. That is, points needs to be observed by students when they are visiting various projects. Today, I will talk on value-based questions. In the final examination, when the questions are being asked, which are value-based, what answer needs to be given? And you must be aware that questions can only be answered when the chapter is fully covered by you. And you remember all the basic points, fundamental points, all the main points in your chapter so that you are capable and you are ensured that you will be able to answer the questions which are value based in the final examination. Here we cover questions only, and all the questions I will talk on the hints. I will provide you the hints against each question. So let's go ahead, and my first question to you is: protection of small scale industries by government is essential for equality of opportunity. Comment. So you need to comment on this statement. How you can answer these questions? Students, you must be aware of the small scale businesses. So what exactly is asked in this question? Number one is protection of small scale industry is required. From whom? From the government. And why it is essential? So that they can compete with the big business houses and opportunity needs to be provided to them. So this is the exactly questions is required, means protection from the government. Now what answer do you need to give? Students, you must be knowing in the small business we have covered role of small business in India. You must keep into your mind what is the role of small business in India and how it helps in growth of the economy. I may tell you in briefly that it contributes to industrialization and exports, employment generation, large variety of products, promote balanced regional development, development of entrepreneurship, low cost of production, quick decision, suitable for customized production and personal contact. So these are the matters and these are the roles of small business in India. Now what is required from the government to promote small businesses in India? Also students, you must keep in mind during this study of this small business chapter that in favor of small businesses, what government has done. Means what are the measures adopted by the government. Number one, you must be remembering that institutional support, and second is incentives for enterprises in rural, backward and hilly areas in the form of various taxes. Land also, power, water, sale tax, octroi, raw material, finance, industrial estate, tax holiday benefits. All these are measures adopted by the government during the measures taken to promote small scale industries. So accordingly, if you are keeping in mind all this, then you can write the answers like the given statement is correct. So firstly, you have to agree with yourself that the statement is correct or not. Here the statement is correct. What you need to write? The given statement is correct. Further, you have to write small scale industries occupy a very important place in the industrial structure of the country. Then, however, they cannot compete with big industrial firms, that is sure. So they can flourish only when they are protected from the large firms. How it is protected? You have to write that government reserves production of a number of products for small scale industries. Second, the criterion for reserving the products depending on the ability of these units to manufacture the goods. Moreover, the small scale industries were also given concessions such as lower excise duty and bank loans at lower interest rates. So steps taken by the government for their growth are justified. So you have to justify the answer in your answer by providing this small detail. So students, I must tell you that you must read twice the questions before answering any question. So next question is given, as you can see in the slide. I will read it like: a cloth manufacturer distributes its defective products at free of cost, within bracket, after getting them repaired from Nari Niketan at lower cost, bracket close, to orphanage. This is a quotation. Now what is asked? which objective is being highlighted here. Also identify the values involved in it. So what is the exactly answer is required from the question. Number one is that you can see in the slide what exactly question is. Read thoroughly, read twice before you can understand what are the values involved in it. Number one is that a manufacturer distributes its defective product at free of cost. How free of cost? After repairing them, repaired from Nari Niketan at lower cost. These institutions are there which repaired at least cost. So he is doing that thing to orphanage, means the children who required and who has no sources of money and they are orphanage. So this is asked from the question. So values are involved in it. Now what you have to see, which objectives is being highlighted. The answer is required is what is the objective and also identify the values involved in it. So students, before answering the questions, you must be aware about social responsibilities of business and business ethics chapter. Under concept of social responsibility, it is very clearly given that social responsibility is the obligation of business to act in a manner which will serve in the best interest of the society. Social responsibility of business to its obligation to take these decisions and perform those actions which are desirable in terms of the objectives and values of our society. Further, under the concept, it is also provided that a socially responsible business must act with due concern for the effects on the lives of other people. It should not keep profit maximization as a sole objective. This is a concept of social responsibility. Now, after being aware yourself with the concept of social responsibility, you need to answer in the following manner. First of all, students, you need to answer which is being asked from you, that which objective is being highlighted. You need to write only the social objective is highlighted. Another question is asked, identify the values involved in it. You have to write the values in this act are social welfare through help to needy class of society and providing employment to members of Nari Niketan. Means efficient use of resources. How? Through full utilization of defective products after improvement. So these are the values involved in it, and it is being given by the cloth manufacturer, providing by the cloth manufacturer. So this is the type of answer you need to write simply. What is the objective and what are the values involved in the question. Now students, let's go ahead and let's see what is the another question if asked and how it needs to be answered. Students, another question is being asked is, as you can see in the slide, an organization has started using CFL's bulbs and LEDs instead of bulbs and tube lights. Which values are attained by the organization? So students, what is being asked from you? Only the values. What are the values involved in this statement? So students, I may brief you or I may give you a hint, and if you go back on the chapter of social responsibility of business and business ethics, you must have read role of business in environmental protection. Here the values are regarding environmental protection. So business enterprises, what are the steps needs to be taken for environmental protection under role of business in environmental protection in this chapter. As briefly I may explain you that top management of the enterprise should be committed to create, maintain and develop work culture for environmental protection and pollution prevention. So this is a statement given under the role of businesses in environmental protection. Accordingly, keeping in mind this statement, you have to answer in the following manner. Simply you have to write under this question that the values attained by the organization are, number one, efficient use of resources by saving electricity, and second is environment protection. So this is a hint I am giving, you need to explain very briefly in the answer. So next go ahead students and let's see what is another question is being asked from you. As you can see in the slides, lack of social responsibility. This is a chapter. Means a doctor, a quotation is, a doctor charges high fees for consultation from his patients and refuses to treat the poor patients without consultation fees. Moreover, he accepts gifts and commission from medical representatives and prescribes costly medicines. So this is a statement and answer is required from you. So in this question, your comments are required and you have to read thoroughly the statement. After reading the statement, what I think the professional behavior of a doctor is required and values which are disturbing in this statement are required to be given. Now students, let me give you a hint. You must go through the chapter business ethics. Under business ethics, what is written? What exactly is written? What is ethics? Business ethics refers to the moral principles or rules of behavior which should govern moral conduct of businessmen. Further, it is written in the chapter that suggest ways and means of running a business which are morally justified and are influenced by expectation of society, employees or government. So, in simple terms, business ethics are moral principles that defines right and wrong behavior in the world of business. So, this is a statement. If you go through, you will come to know that what is hidden in this quotation. So, how you have to answer now? Let me give you in the following manner you need to answer. You have to simply write, students, no, as the behavior is wrong. No, the doctor is not following the professional behavior. He is disobeying the professional code of conduct. Another point you need to write that the disturbing values, what are the values being disturbed in this above quotation, that you have to write lack of social responsibility, as the doctor should also take care of poor patients. So this type of answer you need to give and explaining that business ethics. Now students, let's go ahead to the next question. Next question is covering under social responsibility is women empowerment. Now you can see in the slide the quotation is being asked from you. A company manufacturing TVs and refrigerators wants to add 2 new products. Number 1, washing machines and ACs, means air conditioners. Separate departments were set up, one headed by a female and another one by a disabled person. Now, which values are considered in this case? So, simply students, the values are given in the quotation and simply you have to mention and brief given in the answer that what are the values involved in this quotation. So, students, if you go through the statement, the values given are very clear given, that is separate departments were set up, one headed by a female and another one by disabled person. Means female, its importance is given under social responsibility to women's empowerment and second is disabled person. So these are the 2 values involved in this, and what you have to write, that only simply value you have to write, means the values considered are number 1, women empowerment, and number 2, social responsibility by making handicapped people independent. So just briefly in 2 lines you have to explain these 2 that you need to cover under social responsibility. Now students, let's go ahead to the next value-based question. Next value-based question, as you can see in the slide, is on ignorance of social responsibility. Now you can see as quotation, a production manager pays wages less than the minimum wages prescribed by the government. Moreover, he gets the signature of employees on the amount of minimum wages. Which values are not being followed by him? Now students, if you go back on the chapter social responsibilities of business and business ethics, we have read in that chapter that what are the responsibilities towards different interest groups. So one of the interest group is worker, responsibility towards the worker. What is given in that? The management has the social responsibility towards worker, means to create and provide proper and safe working conditions, to ensure fair wages and a fair deal from the management, to provide opportunities for personal growth and development, to provide opportunities to the workers for meaningful work, and to respect the democratic rights of the workers, form unions. So these are the responsibilities towards the workers. So when you cover this chapter in detail, you will be able to answer what are the values are not being followed here. So accordingly, you need to answer in the following manner. The values not followed are, number 1, respect for law, as he is disobeying the law by not giving minimum wages. And number 2, honesty, as the manager is making fraud by taking signature on the wrong amount. Only in brief, this type of answer you need to give in your examination. So students, these are the few value-based questions as an illustrations I have given to you and how the answers needs to be given in the examination. So let us wind up for today. Call of the day. Thank you. Bye-bye.